good, everybody? It's your boy, Nasheed Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Journal. SPK, kick the beat. Now, of course, guys, this is the black social media side of the internet, especially communities like the conscious community or the Pan-African community, where we have brothers that really relate a lot of content to the people. You have brothers like Sanetter, you have brothers like Taharka Bey, you got brothers like Omawale Africa, you got brothers like Pan-Africanism Strikes Back, you got brothers like the Afro Think Tank, brothers like Information Man, Q Butter, a lot of different brothers talking about the issues of the day. But I would say the people that are really focused on two of the top brothers in the community by far would be brother Tariq Nasheed and of course Dr. Umar Johnson. Now Dane Calloway, I would mention him, but he's kind of not really in the conscious community, but he's adjacent to it. But Tariq Nasheed and Umar Johnson have been getting a lot of views for years. Number one, they're both uniquely talented in the way they deliver information, and also they have very big personalities and they have strong followings. Now, these two have had some issue before, and if you don't know, maybe we could play some clips here to kind of get you abreast of it.
Who should Dr. Umar do a versus with in a so-called conscious community to raise funds to renovate the Honorable Frederick Douglass High School? Who should Dr. Umar do a versus battle with? A versus battle with Dr. Umar, King Kong, King Woke, to raise money for FDMG. I was going to say they gotta be on my level, but nobody's on my level because I'm the Sean Carter of this. So nobody's on my level, but we might got to do a handicap versus. It'll have to be me and two or three of them, because there's nobody in the conscious community who can match me on any level at all. Nobody. Maybe an elder or two, but that's it. But nobody who's not an elder. So it'll have to be a handicap match. It can't be Tariq. It can't be Tariq, because half of what comes out of his mouth came out of my mouth before it came out of his mouth. So it can't be him. Killer Mike would be good competition. Killer Mike would be good competition. Killer Mike, I didn't think of that. Killer Mike would probably be the best competition. I think so. Shout out to Killer Mike. That's my guy, by the way. Minister Farrakhan is an elder. I wouldn't do it out of respect. Dane Calloway is not on my level. Young Pharaoh is not on my level. None of them. Nature Boy, come on. Come on. Y'all not naming nobody on my level. David Banner, that's my brother right there. David Banner, that's my brother. David Banner and Killer Mike. David Banner and Killer Mike. They would be the ones. They would be the ones.
So there you go. You know, they've had their problems in the past, and I'm not here to deal with who was right or who was wrong. I'm not dealing with that. And I know that on either side, somebody could point out, you know, this or that. But I want to point out the goals of each individual. Dr. Umar Johnson has been trying to raise money for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School. It's in Delaware. And of course, when I came into the knowledge of Dr. Umar Johnson in 2015, he was trying to get that school going at that time. Unfortunately for Dr. Umar Johnson, he's never gotten that accomplished. Now, Tariq Nasheed, he seems to, Tariq does a lot of different things, a lot of different goals. You know, let's say, for example, there's a Kickstarter for a film, a documentary. You know, he's written a few books in the last 8 years. But one of the things he's done is he wanted to do this Hidden History Museum, which has a very close name like the Hidden Colors series that he's produced. And those have been wildly successful. But the Hidden History Museum, in fact, SPK, that was the first video he edited for me back in August, in which Tariq Nasheed was trying to get the money to get this building, get the project off the ground. And of course, he got the money at the last minute. And of course, people were, hating on him and things like that. And then for a while, it seems like the project wasn't coming together as planned. And then many people were, calling me because I gave some money to it. They're saying, hey, this guy is taking the money. This guy's not serious, this and that. But when I look at this particular post here, this is showing me something that I think that Tariq has a really great, strong advantage over Dr. Umar. Tariq is delivering, as it appears, the project to fruition. He says that this will come into light, into fruition. If you see it here, the Hidden History Museum opening later this month in Los Angeles, Black History Month. And that's what it looks like. Now, somebody could go into detail and say, well, I don't like how it looks, or, it doesn't look like it's big enough, or whatever. But let's not deal with that. Let's deal with the fact that it appears to be that it is a complete project. Now, when you look at Dr. Umar Johnson and the struggles that he's had, and obviously I know a museum and a school is a very, set up. A school is definitely very different. But at the end of the day, what you're looking at is this guy. If this museum comes out before Umar School does, then it's also like damn near 10 years of Umar not producing.
He's acting like he did me a favor. I made your movie hot. I made the Hidden Color series hot. Umar, you've been in a whole bunch of documentaries. None of them have popped off. Are you listening, fat? None of them have popped off except mine. What are you talking about? You've been in a bunch of films and nobody never heard of them except mine. How you help me? You done a bunch of shit that don't pop off. How have you helped me? I got 2 movies now that's on the #1 spot. You ain't in them. How you help me?
And all of that. And I think maybe you may have heard that Dr. Umar Johnson in one of these clips, he was saying like, look, nobody can compete with me in the Pan-African community. I'm this, I'm that, only Killer Mike can deal with me. Nobody else can deal with me. Tariq is not on my level. Dane Calloway's not on my level. But when you look at the one level that counts, that's the level of productivity. And the one problem that Umar Johnson has is that he can't produce anything. He has a big ego. He feels very good about himself. He believes he can do X, Y, and Z. But now when it comes to the fact that you're not producing what you said you're gonna produce, it makes people lose credibility for you. And when you're representing the Pan-African community, which is the community that I'm also in, it's embarrassing, It's embarrassing because it makes us look like that we don't have people who can pretty much do stuff. And that's an issue. It's a very big issue. No disrespect to anybody, as he says, but thing is, brother, when you're doing stuff, you need to be able to deliver on what you're saying you're gonna do. If not, if you can't deliver on it, you need to find somebody else who can do it. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. I'm out.